the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We're inviting people to join the Bling sisters, bringing entertainers from around the world. We help you find places to go. We'll sell you the jewelry to take you there. Glam up, accessorize. Let's get out of the living room and out in the town.
Up and down the 101, glamorized party and having fun.
Sonoma, Santa Rosa, Bodega Bay, Windsor, Catani, Roner Park, Petaluma, Hillsburg.
We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. We're the Bling sisters. Jewelry, bling, fashion, that's our destiny. We talk, we chat, we have conversations with interesting people from around the Bay.
Come on, join the Bling sisters. Let them sell you jewelry that'll make your day.
We're the Bling sisters. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party. Welcome to the Silver Shells Bling party.
Joining us live from Dublin is Sean, the Bling Sisters roving correspondent.
Just got into Dublin Airport for the very first 737 MAX. Very excited to get over to Bristol with Alex over here. We are heading over to the Gloucestershire Cheese Rolling Championships. We're on our way to Cooper's Hill, and as you can see on the windscreen, this rain is less than ideal. This is very, very slippy topsoil.
Hey Cindy, did you hear a tornado destroyed a French cheese factory?
Oh no.
All that was left was debris.
Cheese rolling t-shirts £10, brownies £2. Shout over the fence if interested. Hey! I currently have my camera parallel with the horizon, and look at how steep that is. We're going to watch the first one just to try and figure out the technique, but this thing is absolutely no joke. Look at how steep this hill is, and to make things even wilder, they have the local rugby team that anyone that makes it down the bottom just gets tackled into the ground.
So Shells, there's a well-known grudge match in this race number 1. That would be between Billy Edom O'Donnell and Leonard McCrunsky. I'm liking McCrunsky's style. He's right out in front.
Absolute carnage. There were bodies absolutely flying down. We were just completely
Cindy, how exciting. Let's go down and talk to the winner.
Hello, Leonard.
Hello?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Pleasure to be here.
Excellent. When did you first begin to compete in cheese rolls?
Well, I was just kind of hanging out with a friend of mine, and somebody said, "Hey, you guys want some cheese?" And I'm a big fan of the cheese. I like cheese.
Cheese is good.
And I was like, you guys got American processed cheese food singles? And they're like, no, we don't have any of that stuff. And then I was, well, you got Cheese Whiz, you got sprayed cheese, you got the sprayed cheese? They're like, no, we ain't got the sprayed cheese, but it's pretty good cheese. Well, he just kind of followed me up here. And so we crawled up. We told him we went up this hill. And it's a pretty steep hill. I was just like, man, I'd hate to be somebody who fell down this hill. This be pretty tough. And so when we get up to the top, of the hill, and they have this big roll of cheese. There's no refrigeration for the cheese. You don't
Ridiculous.
need the refrigeration for this cheese. This crumbly cheese. And so we're up there, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to have some of the cheese. And they're like, well, you gotta chase it down. You gotta sell. There's a whole bunch of other people there. There's a whole bunch of 100 other people standing around wanting the cheese. So it's like a whole bunch of people wanting the same piece of cheese, right? And then they just kind of just roll the cheese down, and then whoever gets cheese first gets cheese. And I wanted to be supportive, so I just started cheering everybody else on and like giving them hugs and stuff, and they kept falling down, and then you just keep falling down. Then like you try to get up and you fall down some more, and then other people run into you, and then you just keep falling into each other, and then pretty soon, next thing I know, I'm holding cheese.
All right, you got the cheese.
I got cheese, so I got a whole bunch of cheese.
Wow. Who were some of your inspirations?
Probably, we go with, I like gravity. Gravity was kind of the key to the whole thing. So I'm finding Newton for finding the gravity, because if I didn't have the gravity, if it wasn't for Newton finding gravity, I would have just been floating around. So I'm grateful for that. And here's the little indicator. This is kind of what the cheese looks like.
That's kind of nice.
So it's the raw cheese and just rolls through. And chase after the cheese.
Right on. So, what is your favorite cheese to chase?
Well, it's the Cheese Whiz, because you stick it up and then you tie down the one end and you scorch across the kitchen and stuff, and that's pretty cool. It's my favorite. It's like chasing a chicken with its head cut off.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that.
It's like headless cheese. It's like headless cheese. You're chasing around headless cheese. So I was talking of delicious cheese, I want to have cheese.
Nice.
What drives you to get up every day in the morning and train every day?
Well, I think it's just the excitement of having my butt above my head on a continuous basis, just like over and over again.
Right.
At first, you think that's probably not a good idea, but it keeps you regular, so that's a good thing. Because cheese will plug you up. If you eat too much cheese, it'll plug you up. But if you add the rotation to the rotations, then you don't get as plugged up with cheese.
Well, I have one more question for you, Leonard.
Wonderful.
What are your strengths both as a cheese athlete and as a person?
Well, my ability to fall and not brace myself. I think that's the key. Is that you're gonna fall. You might as well just enjoy it while you're at it. Because like the landing kind of hurts, but the distance from here down to the ground, that's pretty fun. That's pretty good. Just sort of that moment. I really enjoy that moment of life. It feels very good.
What about you as a person?
I just like that feeling like I'm falling all the time. It's just kind of, and as the older you get, the easier it is, because you can get that feeling for just like going up the stairs or trying to tie your shoes. A lot of people, they need drugs to feel lightheaded and stuff. And not me. I just got to stand up a little quick.
Me too.
That's my secret. That's people don't realize about getting older. Hey, you don't do drugs as much. Well, it's because you don't need to. That's the secret. Oxygen deprivation. That's the key to happiness.
Oxygen deprivation. That's a good. That's
And
a,
cheese. More cheese.
more cheese, more cheese.
All right,
So
there's
Leonard, I want to
cheese.
thank you for being here with us today, and congratulations
very
on
much.
your win. And we are going back to the cheese competition for race number 2. Are you ready to go watch that race?
Okay,
Okay, let's go.
I gotta start climbing.
And now back to Sean.
Right, so we're at the very top of the hill now. 25 of us. As you can see, the crowds are pretty big. And look at how steep this hill is. How are you feeling? So.
2 to be steady, 3 for the cheese, you go on 4, yeah? Yeah. No going on 3, go on 4.
Alright, this is the moment of truth. Here we go. Take off your helmet.
And now let's catch up with our second winner.
And we're back. And we have the winner of the second race. He must have put his glasses on because he wasn't wearing them in the race, I noticed. How are you today, sir?
Absolutely delightful. It's been a most spectacular afternoon. Thank you very much.
So what challenges did you come across getting here today? And why would a professor such as yourself, come to a cheese chasing competition?
Well, each and every man, in order to feel that they are in fact alive, naturally to actually be alive, we must venture into the hero's journey. And nowhere else in this world at this very time can one experience the hero's journey than in chasing cheese down a grassy knoll, my friends. And thus I have come to participate in the glorious quest of life that we call cheese rolling.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Here, you have this one.
Okay. What challenges do you come across in getting to where you are today, and what advice do you have for those who aspire to chase cheese?
There is only one real challenge in anything that we do in life, and that, of course, is stupid people. Stupid, ignoramus idiots everywhere. And nowhere else. And nowhere else, might I add, can you find complete and instant karma justice than on the heel chasing the cheese. For the idiots begin running fast. They are going fast. They take themselves out almost immediately. It's incredible. It's a glorious experience. But those with patience, perseverance, those are the ones who succeed. And that is the hero's journey. That is the question. That is the question we must all ask ourselves. What is the answer? The answer is patience and persistence.
Okay, thank you.
Well, and you brought it home today, didn't you? What?
Absolutely, I did, most definitely.
What do you?
Because it is the most delicious cheese. It's the only place in the world you can actually purchase this particular cheese. You can't go to your local store, your bodega down the street, and purchase some Gloucester cheese. No, it's ignorant to assume so. You must come here and get it yourself.
I see. So why do you think cheese rolling is important?
because it is the very essence of life itself.
Oh.
I see.
Chasing cheese. You see, there are those who want to chase around with the bulls in Babylona or to fight bulls. You see, these are challenges against other beings that are only trying to be themselves. But cheese has no will of its own. Its only desire is to be cheese. And so when we chase the cheese and we consume the cheese, not only are we finding joy in our own lives, but in fact we are fulfilling the desires of the cheese to be cheese in pursuing the cheese.
Well, that begs the question, are you suggesting that cheese is sentient?
Absolutely. For we are all one with the universe, but nowhere are we closer to the universe than when we are consuming cheese and bacon. If you could throw some bacon.
Bacon. What quality should a cheese athlete have?
You know, there are expensive cheese, or fromage, shall we say, in the French. And then there are cheap imitational cheese, Kraft singles, and of course Cheese Whiz. There are all types of cheese for every type of man. It is in fact the only life-sustaining source that is available to every palate. And the only people, of course, who cannot consume are those who are lactose intolerant, but I believe them to be aliens anyway and shouldn't be here.
I see.
That's how we will separate when the aliens attack. That's how we shall separate ourselves. All those who are lactose intolerant over here, boom, we've instantaneously know who the aliens are. And people with left-handed.
So tell me, Professor, have you ever been injured in a cheese rolling competition?
Each and every single time, yes.
Oh
I
my.
am pierced to the heart. Because there are other people who are not here. Not every man is here to participate in the thing. That is the greatest injury of all, my friends. The greatest injury that one could sustain is realizing that your fellow man are not participating as they should.
So are you going to come back and defend your title?
Each and every year.
All right.
Yes, I shall. I shall return. I shall be victorious. Glory be to all the cheese.
King of the fromage.
Yes.
Yes, so how are you going to up your game for the next competition?
Well, I'm actually considering getting some of those Skechers with the foamy soles. I think that will really be the trick. That and some compression socks.
Compression socks. Those are hard to get on.
Compression socks, yes. They squeeze all the way up to the calf. They massage the calf. Delightful pair of stockings, shall we say.
That's funny.
Enjoying some of my cheese. La fromage.
Your fromage.
Fromage.
Antonio likes fromage and jamboni fromage.
That sings to my palate, my friend.
Okay. What would you be doing if you weren't chasing cheese?
If I were not chasing cheese, if this opportunity to chase cheese did not exist, I would be creating that opportunity now. I would like to have the endeavor moved to Pikes Peak. That way, we're not just falling down a small hill, we're actually falling off the cliffs of mountains. And that will really bring, I think, the message to the masses, the importance of chasing cheese, especially when you add death as a possibility. The perfect analogy for life, I believe.
Well, I have one more question for you, Professor. Actually, it's a two-part question.
Wonderful.
Okay. Do you have a real job? And what are your hobbies?
I do, in fact, have a job. I am professor of cheese studies at the University of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Is our intent, of course, is to make cheese not only a delicious and refreshing food item, but also to show the importance of cheese throughout philosophy and history and science. The cheese, in fact, is the key to all of existence.
Cheese is good.
Yes.
Hobbies?
My hobbies include collecting cheese whiz cans from history, and of course I collect lint.
Lint. What do you do with the lint?
Yes.
I've seen people make hats with lint.
I like to mix it with the cheese.
Oh, I don't know if I would
Yes.
like that.
Nothing makes stinky cheese taste better than lint.
Lint.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Provides
Professor,
absolute perfect texture.
thank you. Thank you, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be joining Cindy and Tony again here. And then we're going to be joining Rodney Norman after this, people. And thank you, Professor. Professor is good. I really want to know. I want to know who your favorite comedians are.
As a kid, my favorites were, I love Johnny Carson, Bob Hope, Bob Newhart, Jonathan Winters. I love Rich Little. Love the impressions and all that. But as I got older, I think Robin Williams.
Really loved him. He's local here. He was local here.
Yeah, in that area. And also Emo Phillips was first time I saw him when our family got HBO by accident, and so I wasn't supposed to watch HBO, but I got to watch Emo Phillips' specials on HBO when I was a kid and just absolutely fell in love with that dude.
Nice.
I've got to work with him a couple times too since then, so that's been an honor.
So what led you to decide to become a stand-up comedian and / philosopher?
Well, I've loved both ever since I was a kid. I was in theater all through high school and college. I did debates. So I was always into theater, and I was also always into philosophy and logic and reason. And it's been fun to be able to just kind of combine the two over the years with stand-up. Because with stand-up, you can do whatever you want. There's no rules. It's just get up there and make people laugh. So
Right.
whatever you come up with and they laugh, it's cool. So then you want to combine philosophy and my love of stupid characters.
Well, and I'd like to point out too that you do clean comedy.
Yeah, I keep it pretty clean. A lot of that is because I want to do stuff that I feel good about my kids and grandkids seeing. And also my mother watches everything I do. So, I just generally, I'm not a very vulgar, person to begin with anyway. So,
Right.
And everybody else is being vulgar and dirty and nasty. So I figure, why be like everybody else?
Well, I like the comedians you mentioned. Bob Newhart, I really loved. Rich Little, I loved all the voices he did. Jonathan Winters, oh my goodness, what a great talent.
Robin Williams was such a great stand-up comedian. He reminded me of Red Skelton. And get to see him transform that into his television acting was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I wish they would have given him more leniency to let him do more. I think his TV shows would have been a lot more successful, but they had to rein him in so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are your characters based on people you know?
To a certain degree, yes. Leonard is actually an homage to my grandfather. When I was a kid, he died when I was 12. He was only 63 at the time, but he was an alcoholic, and he would he would get kind of lush drunk, and I'd be hanging out with him at the kitchen table, and he would try to teach me lessons. And he would get one lesson and then finish it with a different one, and he would forget what he was talking about, and then he would try to paraphrase what he was talking about, and it just I just remembered the way he would try to explain things when he really wasn't focused, and it was brilliant. When I was a kid watching it, I thought it was so funny. As I got older, I started thinking about that, and that's kind of where the character of Leonard came from, was kind of an homage to my grandfather. He was a very smart man, a very wise man, but he was drunk most of the time, so it was hard to decipher.
Right. So tell me, were you funny when you were a child?
Yeah, I was a middle child, and so that was my only way to get attention, was either beat up somebody or make them laugh. And I decided to go with the make them laugh thing. And just at school, we moved around a lot because my dad was a diesel mechanic, and so we moved around every 2 or 3 years. I was in a new school, so making new friends, of course, you either find the biggest kid in school and beat them up, or you just make people laugh. And so I would just make people laugh, and that's how I made friends. So
seems like you're pretty successful at it.
It's just a deep-seated desire for attention. That's all this is.
Well, you're getting it now.
Trying to, yeah.
Who have been your biggest supporters?
Oh, absolutely. My family, every one of them have been very supportive, but really the key is my wife. She's the one who, right from the get-go, was pushing me to do theater and to acting and to really do stand-up. She took me to my first real live stand-up comedy show. Wow. Got me tickets, and we went to the show, and her whole purpose of doing so was to prove to me that I could do it myself.
Nice.
And sitting there watching it live, that's where I got the bug. That's where I got the idea and thought, okay, yeah, let's do this. And she's been very, very supportive every step of the way. She's running my fan club on Facebook, and she's very supportive. No, without a doubt, it's my wife. She's everything.
I watched your live stream with your wife on relationships the other evening. That was lovely. She's a lovely woman.
Oh, she's brilliant. Very fun. I'm very lucky to have found her, and I thank God every day I wake up next to her.
Excellent. It's good to have a partner like that values you like that.
Well, it is, because if you have to change who you are to make somebody else happy, then
it's not going to work.
You're never going to be happy.
Right?
You're never going to be what they wanted, and you're never going to be what you were supposed to be. So yeah, that's important.
Now, Shelley had a question for you. She was looking at some philosophers like Plato, who was saying that comedy should be tightly controlled since he feels that humor is malicious. What do you have to say about that?
He's absolutely true. Comedy is powerful, because you can get people who dislike you to like you, and you can get a group of people to dislike somebody else through comedy. I mean, that's why the powers that be are always attacking comedians. And they're attacking because it's really the freest place for the First Amendment. I mean, the freest you could ever be is being a comedian. And that's what they want to attack it, is because it is powerful. It's absolutely powerful. But it can be good, or it can be for bad. It's just like anything else. But yeah, it's very difficult to explain, but through comedy you can diffuse situations, you can make things better, but you can also destroy. You can dehumanize other people, and
right.
That's why political humor has become so even more vicious over the years, because they understand that power.
And that's why I liked the comedians that you mentioned. They were all mostly really wonderful, wholesome comedians.
Well, yeah, I think there's the idea of, and this is what I'm trying to get back to, is just being funny for the sake of being funny. Let's just make people laugh and make people feel good, because it's a powerful thing to be able to laugh at something, because that's how you heal from, you heal from horrible in experiences, is being able to laugh at it and gain power back over it. It's powerful, it's healing, but most people just use it as a way to bitch and moan about everything, and I'm kind of tired of that. That's most comedy now. That's all it is people just bitching and moaning, and I'm tired of it. I just want to be goofy and silly and have some fun.
Well, I've got a comment that I've always followed comedy, and I have a lot of my favorites like Bill Burr and Ron White is really funny, but it's I kind of got out of it, and it's because of that nastiness that that I kind of fell away from. I don't go to comedy shows anymore. I don't really watch stand up on TV too much. It's just gotten kind of mean. And when I saw you doing Leonard and What Is Up in the World Today, that just resonated with me so heavily that I had to reach out and contact you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that video is just, I think it's somewhere around 60 million views worldwide now. It's getting out there.
Congratulations. That's how has that impacted your life?
Very little. No, it's just my presence on Facebook and YouTube's gone incredible, and Instagram. I'm getting to meet wonderful people like yourself.
That's nice. Thank you.
So it's been a lot of fun. Just people noticing that I think people are shocked to find out, one, that there's more to that character than just that one bit. Mm-hmm. That's been the funnest part. And people thinking that that's a real person. That's probably been the funnest part of the whole thing.
That is funny. So I liked the part on time, the piece on time.
Oh, yes. See, that's the funnest thing about this, is being able to talk about topics that everybody else is talking about, but doing it, especially through Leonard, being able to talk about it in a different way, it brings a different perspective to it.
There's a sort of innocence to Leonard.
What's that?
There's a sort of innocence to Leonard.
Yeah, and that really is the key to him, is that he's looking at things through kind of a fresh eyes kind of perspective, and very a sense of innocence, and it's fun because everybody else is always trying to be the expert about everything. Everybody knows certain you are the expert at everything, and Leonard has no clue most of the time.
But he comes up with such deep stuff.
Which is the key to it, is that he's not trying to be anything but himself, and he's just trying to be as honest as he can about everything, and that's what's coming across, I think. It's a lot of fun. He's a great character to get into and play.
And I liked the dramatic Facebook readings. Those are my favorite. Oh my goodness. He takes posts and reads them dramatically, and it's fantastic because these posts, tell him about the posts.
Well, I have a lot of friends who are very funny, and they write some very clever stuff. And they would post something that they've poured their heart into writing, and it would get 3 likes. And it was depressing to me because I'm going, this guy's really funny. This what he's saying is brilliant. And so I just started on a whim. I just started doing dramatic readings of my friends' posts, and it turned into there's a whole page called Dramatic Readings, and it's just me reading random stuff that people send me, or dramatic, mostly Facebook posts, and I just give it a dramatic flair. It's a lot of fun. Those are a lot of fun to do.
Those are a lot of fun to watch. So I think we're running out of time here, and I'd like to know if you had anything to leave us with?
Just, you know what? Enjoy your life. The world is going crazy. It's all on purpose. Don't get caught up in it. Take care of yourself. You know, put some food away. Things are going to get weird. And just enjoy yourself. Have fun. Enjoy the spectacle. Don't get depressed. There's no reason to be depressed. If you die, you get all the answers, or you just go float into nothingness, and then none of it matters anyway. So just take it for what it's worth and enjoy your life and have some fun.
Exactly. Okay.
Listen to some good jazz music.
Good jazz.
There we
like,
go.
Like Tony. Tony is the best. Tell him about your number one hit.
Yeah, I've been blessed to have a new CD called Sexy Something. And it was on the charts it's still on the charts. It's been on the charts in the top 10 for 14 weeks. And it was number 1 for 6 weeks. So that's brought me a lot of joy. And you should definitely, I'll get your email and I'll drop you a copy to you so that you can check it out.
I'd love it. That would be awesome.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rodney, for joining us. It's such a pleasure to have you and meet you kind of in person.
It was a delight and an honor to join you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, outgoing, we have what's coming up. So this is Silver Shell's Bling Party. This is Cindy Jenkins.
And I'm Tony Saunders.
And thank you for joining us today. It was a little disjointed, but Shelley will be back with us post-haste. Good night.
Join us next time when we cover Finland's wife-carrying competition. Meanwhile, be sure to visit the Bling Sisters store at www.silvershells.live. Until next time...